in the 1930s and 1940s, if an actress was average weight, she would be put on diet pills because she wasn't seen as beautiful. And therefore, someone like Judy Garland, for example, was on so many diet pills that she became a drug addict. And then, unfortunately, her demise were the same exact diet pills that she was told to take so she can look skinny. Okay? That was in the 1930s and 40s. Now, zoom into today. The studios legally cannot tell actresses that they have to gain weight or they have to take diet pills to look beautiful, right? Okay, so now take that into consideration. That's today. The studios legally cannot tell an actor or an actress that they have to gain weight or take diet pills for the studio's purposes. That's illegal for them to do that. Now, put yourself in the position of a young actor or actress, okay? And you want to be a comedian. You want to be an actor or an actress. So, what's the way you're going to go about it? This is you. Place yourself in the body of a young actor or an actress. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, all of us have pretty much a simple idea, right? Write better comedic styles. Try to gain appearance on the Tonight Show or a late night program, something like that, right? That's most people. Well, not Rebel Wilson. And she's not the only one. Rebel Wilson is one of those women, like so many other women out in Hollywood, including some men that feel like they're at a disadvantage because they don't look like other actresses and or actors in Hollywood. Now, when it comes to Rebel Wilson, the reason why she's famous, or her secret to getting famous, is to take 6 months off doing improvisation to gain weight, to be more funny. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, that's her prerogative alone. I am not shaming her for that. That is her own prerogative. That's her own prerogative to do that. But if I were her, I would not do that. I would not do that for the sake of the purpose that if you're going to entertain millions of people, men and women alike, the least thing that you should do for your fans is to be yourself and not to pretend you're someone else. That's that's what annoys people about celebrities today. They try to be someone they're not. You have someone like me in Hollywood right now who's average weight, average weight, skinny and heavy at the same time. An equal proportion, a healthy proportion of body mass index for someone who's my height, 5'6". Say this guy, for example, is seeing every other actor who's buff. So he gets super buff and no one wants to be near him because he's so rock hard. He feels like a rock. Now, don't you see the stupidity of that? Don't you see the stupidity of that? And I find it really stupid that celebrities today, men and women alike, feel they have to change their bodies to appease to people. If people can't accept you for who you are, they're not your audience. Find an audience that's going to accept you for who you are. Look at Rosie O'Donnell, for Christ's sake. For at least 10 years or so, she held the fact that she was gay. Because America in some ways is still a little bit conservative towards gay people. But when, in the early 2000s, when she still had her television show, her daytime talk show, and she said, "I'm a lesbian," guess what? People were so pissed off at her for saying, oh, that she's gay. And guess what her response is? "I don't care what you think about my sexuality. I'm a normal human being. I do the same exact things you do on the same daily basis. I put my pantsuit on one leg at a time." And she actually said this. And it was quoted in the New York Times, Daily News, every magazine, because it was such a scandal that she came out of the closet. Now, in this day and age, she has a fan base that accepts her for who she is, and they don't care that she's heavy, they don't care that she's lesbian, they don't care that she's a woman, they don't care about that. Because, you know why? They accept her for who she is, and that's what her target audience is. And it really annoys me that people feel the need that they have to gain weight or get extremely buffed up just to get people to like them. If people can't accept you for who you are, find a different audience that's going to accept you for who you are. Like if you're a comedian and you do comedy like Dennis Miller or George Carlin, something that has strong language and is very observational, isn't anything like knock-knock jokes, and people don't like that, well, guess what? Find an audience that's going to accept your comedy. Same thing with female comedians. If you're a feminist comedian who only does jokes regarding about feminism or anything like that, and there's an audience for that, that's great. But don't try to appease to an audience that isn't going to find your stuff funny. Because that's how most comedians fail. That's how most comedians fail to even make a career. Lenny Bruce is a pure example of a guy that failed twice before he found his audience that liked his comedy. Failed twice. And guess what? Actresses and actors come and go, okay? Actors and actresses come and go, but respect lives on forever. But if you try to pretend to be someone else you're not, that respect is going to go along with your career. That's just exactly how life goes in Hollywood. That's how life always goes. Perfect example. Rita Hayworth. Amazing actress. Her career, started to die down late 60s, early 70s. And she wasn't the only one whose career started to go down the tubes. Frank Sinatra's career started to go down the tubes on the small screens. Because he got tired of acting. So did Rita Hayworth. And guess what? The amount of respect people still have for these people, even though they're dead, is still there. Their careers might be gone, but the respect for them lives forever. And that's what I feel a lot of actors and actresses this day and age aren't going to have once they're dead or they leave the show business. They're not going to have the respect that people had for them because they pretended to be someone else that they're not. If you really want a career like that, by all means, go ahead. But don't moan and pout to people when people forget about who you are or what movies or television you were in because you pretend to be someone else you're not. And this stuff really irritates me. It's not Rebel Wilson isn't the only person who has done something like this. There's millions of other people who have done something like this in Hollywood, and it really irritates me. If they have the fear of being themselves, they should not be in show business. Because being in show business, you're not putting on a different persona for people to enjoy. You're putting on the same persona you put on for your friends when you're with them, or your family when you're around them. That's exactly what being a comedian is about, or an actor and an actress, is showing your passion for others who may not be in your inner circle. And that's really irritating when people try to pretend to be someone else they're not. And I'm sorry, but it really irritates me. It really irritates me. It really irritates me.